everybody, welcome back to the channel. More Blood and Plunder here as we start our coverage for Raise the Black. So we're starting off with the pirates here and their factions. We get 4 new sub-factions, right, as part of the overall just pirates-themed forces. So today we're taking a look at the first one. It was a short-lived one, historically, but 1714, 1717 or so. The Flying Gang. So really neat history behind it, which they include. But let's get into what we actually get with this list. So right off the bat, we're getting 4 force special rules, so lots of things going on here for us to remember. So first off, all the ships in this force gain the shallow draft ship trade, so that will certainly help with navigating around, depending on how the board is set up, of course. But just having that, of course, in those situations, it makes that a little bit easier to maneuver. The force, however, may not include size 3 or larger ships, so you're stuck at 2 at the largest, but there's plenty of options there still. If this force is the attacker in a scenario, once per game, the controlling player may discard all activation cards in their hand and replace them with the same number of new cards without spending a fortune point. So consider it essentially an extra fortune point for that specific purpose, right? So always good to have that in the back of your mind here, but also just, that little ace in the hole to play. We want to remember that we have this available at all times until we use it, of course. So when we're considering uses of fortune for other things, we can be a little bit more liberal with that, just because we know that at some point we do have this free use of this special rule here to mimic that, again, use of fortune. So good thing to have, no complaints about that whatsoever. And here's a very powerful one. Every unit in the force gains Ruthless. So basically when you're shooting at someone with more fatigue than you or fighting them, right, you get advantages there. So just consider that, especially with all the units that you have available to you. Those units may not normally come with that, so just the fact that we're taking this force and gaining a special rule without having to spend any additional points or do any other things that harm us, we just gain it for playing this force. So that's pretty cool right off the bat. Now we have a good selection of core units here, no complaints there, and a huge selection of support units. So really, this is going to be a list where you can more or less kind of customize to whatever you want to do with it within the restrictions of the list here. We get English Sea Dogs, so always a great unit, pirates themselves, and Jamaican privateers, but again, like the English flavor of that. So not a bad way to go, especially if we are playing, again, on the sea at all, right? We have plenty of sailors there, but we have more in the support units. We get French Marins, Dutch Zeelieden, we get pressed men. We also can bring in some African warriors. Roundsmen, we haven't really touched on those before. Then also European sailors, just unaligned in general. So plenty of options for really having a very skilled set of crew, essentially, for our ships. But even then, we can mix it up on land and get into some nasty close combat, because a lot of these guys will have other rules like brawlers or other things that just make them really good in combat. So yeah, all in all, pretty dang good here. Not necessarily like a huge list of like line troops like we might see with some of the other more military factions like from the big nations, but again, that's not what the pirates are there for. Here's what they are specialized at, and we get a huge selection. They also have command options, so we can take any of the standard pirate commanders. We'll have a separate video on those, but special characters, of course, which again we'll also get to in a separate series. Charles Vane, of course, infamously, Olivier Labousse Levasseur, Samuel Black Sam Bellamy, Calico Jack Rackham, Benjamin Hornigold, or Henry Jennings. So a lot of the named pirates that we would expect. Don't see Blackbeard there, but that's also because Blackbeard has his own custom force. So really good stuff here for that. So we're spoiled for options on command, spoiled just in general with this list. And then finally, there's also some force options. So again, this faction has a lot of variables going on, right? Some factions maybe only have like 1 or 2 special rules, maybe no command options, maybe not even force options. This has like a little bit of everything for us. So you can take Grape Shot. So all cannons in the force may add Grape Shot. Again, see the rulebook for that for free, so that's good. But fire only Grape Shot for the whole battle. So again, you're gaining something, but you're giving something up there. So no swapping ammunition types. So when we do decide to buy a Grape Shot, we need to make sure that we actually have a plan around that. Otherwise, we're just wasting points, right? We wouldn't want to invest in a cannon and then having a unit crew it and all that if we're not going to do something productive with it. So altogether, we have, again, so many things going on for this force. It's really a potent faction where you can do a lot of different things with that. So again, they're not going to be terrible on land. They're not going to be really terrible in any scenario, especially again if you just focus on their strengths. And again, you have more than enough unit types to really customize exactly what you want to do. You have some good shooting units, certainly up close. A lot of them will have pistols. They can certainly scrap it up in combat. And again, you have plenty of sailors of various types to make your ships perform as good as they can. Again, we're capped at size 2, but we can essentially make those ships as good as possible with this list. So lots of things going on, a fun faction. Let us know, guys, if you have tried out the Flying Gang, how those have gone, or how those battles have gone for you, or if you've come up against them, what have been your successes and maybe the difficulties with the list. Hit us up in the comments, like and subscribe, and we will see you in the next one.